Hi everybody, it's me, Dr. Bob. Welcome to week 7. It's a beautiful day here in Oregon today. Weather is low 80s, which is a little warm for May, but what the heck, we all know global warming is a myth, right? So anyway, welcome to week 7. Okay, so you survived your midterm exams. I haven't had a chance to grade them yet. I'll tell you a little bit about my process. What I typically do is I do the same thing with your papers, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, but typically what I do is I'll look at all of the midterm exams to kind of get a feel for how we did as a class, and then I'll go through each one and I'll grade them. But just preliminarily looking at them, they look fine to me. I don't see any major problems there unless you just didn't do it. So if for some reason you didn't do the midterm exam, it's not too late to turn it in. I may dock you some points for a late, exam submission, but at least you'll have, some points. It's a lot. It's a lot of points, so you don't want to miss that. Week 7. I want to remind you that your public sociology paper is due May 29th. Earlier, I think the date may have been June something, but that was a mistake. So, it is due May 29th, which is still, a couple of weeks away. You have plenty of time to work on it. And it's really not that complex of a paper. Think about it this way. And there's an example there as well, but think about it this way. Public sociology is all about using our skills as academics to make our community better. Not the world, we're not going to save the world, but we can certainly use our skill as researchers, as social scientists, to make our community better. So, first thing you need to do is identify a social problem in your community. What's a social problem? Well, there's tons of them, right? We talked about the environment, littering, graffiti, gangs, education. There are just tons of them, right? So you identify one, whether it's homelessness. Anyway, pick one. And then recycling was another. Anyway, so you identify one and then do some research, whether you go online, you go look at your library, or use an online library, do a little bit of research. Tell me what you have found out about this social problem. The good, the bad, the ugly. And then you need to write a proposal, how you propose to resolve the situation. Maybe you found something online that works, or maybe you have some ideas of your own. And that's it. Then you tie it together with a conclusion. That's all I'm looking for. Like I said in the past, some of my students have taken their proposals and eventually worked them into graduate work. Several of my students have used it for their master's thesis or their doctoral dissertation. And they've gone on that far with it. I don't expect you to do with it. I only expect you to write it up as a proposal. For example, I had a student who didn't like the graffiti in her neighborhood, so she got together a neighborhood watch group, and they would, as soon as a graffiti went up on a specific wall, they went right out and painted over it. They contacted the police, and the police knew when this was occurring, and so they were watching, and they grabbed these guys who were doing it. So again, I'm not expecting you to implement this proposal, just write up how you would resolve it. And that's about it. Now, this week's discussion is all about white privilege and race relations. If you're not familiar with the concept of white privilege, it's the idea that whites receive certain advantages in society. Even though they may not recognize them, they receive certain advantages in society, and this is why we tend to find whites at the upper echelons of the socioeconomic status. They tend to attend college and graduate from college higher than most other groups except for Asians. They tend to do better in the workforce. They tend to have higher socioeconomic status. They tend to get married more often. They tend to be less involved in crimes. They tend to you find fewer whites in the prison system. So all of these factors combine for life chances. So that's your discussion this week, a discussion about race relations. Are they getting better? Are they getting worse? I know people thought, well, hey, we've got a black president now, Obama, and so, racism's over, and we certainly know that's not the case. So anyway, that's your discussion for this week. So that's about it. I'm going to cut it off here at 5 minutes. If you have any questions, as always, I'm available. Send me an email or whatever. Get a hold of me. And I hope you have a great week, and I will be talking to all you good people real soon. Thanks. Bye.